From WNYT Albany, News Channel 13 live at 6 begins right now.
Good evening, and thank you all so much for joining us on our News Channel 13 YouTube channel. I'm Steve Cooge, your friendly anchor for the night. Mark and Sabrina got the evening off. Well, tonight our big story that we're following up on, a man who was shot to death inside a home in Malta. Here's a map of the situation. This took place at the Northway Estates Mobile Home Park. That's on Route 9 next to the Malta town offices. The managers of that property are now telling neighbors that this was all over an apparent misunderstanding. Our Stella Porter is live at that scene with just what kind of misunderstanding we're talking about here. Stella?
Hi, good evening, Steve. That letter to residents from management says the man who was shot entered a home as a visitor, but was mistakenly at the wrong address and was apparently shot by the homeowner who feared for his safety. Look at the scene right now. We've seen evidence technicians from state police coming in and out of this home just in the last couple minutes. You can see a couple of them outside right now. The Saratoga County Sheriff's Office has not confirmed exactly what happened at this home on Raymond Drive. They arrived at 11:30 this morning to find a man dead from a gunshot wound inside this home. Sheriff Michael Zerlo says police are conducting interviews right now, and that process is ongoing. Neighbors, though, tell us they feel really safe living in this quiet development.
We're in and out and in the yard and not keeping the front door locked or even giving that a thought. So we've always been very comfortable and enjoy the place here.
So they come up to process the inside photographs and do with just conduct their investigation. And then once that's done, they'll provide, gives us a better idea, what kind of took place at the scene, and they'll eventually provide a report to us.
Sheriff Zorlo says that there is no danger to the public. This is apparently an isolated situation. We don't yet know the identity of that man who was shot to death, and the sheriff says they are notifying the family right now before making his name public. Reporting live in Malta, Stella Porter, News Channel 13. Steve, back to you.
Wow, Stella, that is pretty wild. The man was shot to death just by going in the wrong house accidentally, it seems, potentially. We'll stay on top of that story. In the meantime, a Cohoes man accused in the death of a 6-year-old baby, a 6-week-old baby that was in his care in Albany. That man has now been extradited from Mexico after being on the run for 2 years following this crime. Anthony Ojeda was one of the U.S. Marshal's 15 most wanted fugitives after he and his husband, Neil Garzone, fled south of the border. They did that in June of 2021. An autopsy revealed that injuries to this 6-week-old baby Eli, the baby had injuries to his ribs, his head, and also we're told that the baby had ingested a lethal dose of methamphetamine. Interpol agents and U.S. Marshals tracked down Garzone earlier this year, and he's since pled not guilty to those related charges. Ojeda, on the other hand, faces manslaughter and second-degree murder charges. Stick with us here at News Channel 13 for updates on both of these heartbreaking cases. Out of this, the search for a fisherman who fell into the Mohawk River yesterday is going to stretch into the weekend. Dan Levy has been on the riverbank much of the day with day 2 of rescue efforts. He now has this update from that scene.
They've been searching these swirling, murky waters from daybreak until dusk. Today was day 2, and from the looks of things, there will be a day 3 of this search. State police boats and Montgomery County Sheriff's Department boats, along with rescue and recovery divers, have scoured these rapid-flowing waters beneath the Lock 12 Dam for a day and a half. Montgomery County Sheriff Jeff Smith tells us a 31-year-old fisherman got his line tangled up Thursday morning, dropped his pole in the water, and when he reached for it, he fell in. An eyewitness tells News Channel 13 she heard the man screaming for help and saw another fisherman toss the man a life preserver, but to no avail. That man went under. A 911 call was made at 11:35 Thursday morning. Police officers were here within minutes. And then the rescue apparatus and personnel arrived. From what we can tell, the search has focused on this stretch of the Mohawk, just below the dam at Lock 12, which stretches between Fort Hunter and Tribes Hill. If and when there are any new developments or updates to this story, we will pass them along to you. In Montgomery County, with coverage you can trust, Dan Levy, News Channel 13.
You can just hear the power of that raging river behind Dan. Thank you very much, Dan, for that update. In the meantime, us at News Channel 13, we're going to keep you updated as this search continues into the weekend. Well, as you can probably tell behind me, it was a pretty all right day outside. This is a live look out over I-90. That's exit 6. For more information on your first warning hour-by-hour forecast as we head into this Father's Day weekend, we're going to throw things over now to Chief Meteorologist Paul Cayano.
Well, all the showers have departed the region to the east. We even have some heavier thunderstorms that blew through parts of Columbia and Berkshire County, but those are all gone and everyone's drying out nicely across the region. And with the return to sunshine, look at how it's warmed into the lower and middle 80s. Albany up to 85, 86 degrees this afternoon, now coming down a bit. So plenty of high 70s and low 80s late this afternoon. Look at the storminess down in Jersey now, easternmost Pennsylvania. That's where the front is situated. So we spent most of the day on the drier side of the front, which is why we were able to avoid the severe weather today, while all those thunderstorms will be rolling through New York City this evening. So the hour-by-hour forecast locally sliding back through the 70s over the next few hours into the 60s. It's going to be a comfortably warm night, and the humidity will come down a bit. And this is going to set us all up for a gorgeous weekend for Saturday and Father's Day. We'll have much more on that and the complete forecast, including that big heat wave we've been tracking, coming up in just a bit.
See you then, Paul. Thank you. Well, talking politics now. The race for Albany County District Attorney is really heating up tonight, with Sheriff Craig Apple from Albany throwing his support behind current DA David Soares. We've reported that current DA David Soares has been under fire as of late for giving himself a $20,000 plus bonus. He used that during with grant funds. But Sheriff Apple says there's also a 20-year career you got to consider here as well. He says DA Soares has, quote, created many first-of-its-kind alternatives to incarceration, end quote. He did that in Albany and has been a champion, according to Craig Apple. DA Soares being a champion for hundreds and hundreds of victims while being hard on offenders.
I get paid to keep people safe. I get paid every day to go out there and work with the men and women in this great department to keep people safe. And then we turn them over to the district attorney's office, who has been working with every law enforcement agency around here. And he's been trying and he's been leading the charge to change bail reform, not throw it out. I think him as a black prosecutor knows we needed some change.
Sheriff Apple went on to say that now it feels as certain elected officials are trying to demonize DA Soares, and it's the right thing to do to defend him. News Channel 13 checked in with attorney Lee Kindlin after that interview with Craig Apple with his reaction. He's the other person running for DA.
Well, I appreciate Craig Apple's contribution to the democratic process. You know, ultimately, the voters in Albany County have to decide if they're happy with the status quo or if they want to change in direction with the Albany County District Attorney's Office.
Sheriff Craig Apple's support for District Attorney Soares comes just a day after Kindlin received some support of his own for the DA race. He got that from Albany County Executive Dan McCoy. Stay with us at News Channel 13 for updates on this heated race. And a reminder of your weekend. Early voting begins tomorrow for primary elections here in New York State. It goes until Sunday, June 23rd. Primary day is the 25th. We got a link on our website, WNYT.com, with all the information you need to know to vote and to take part. We'll also have information on polling sites as well. To find out more Flag Day facts, just head on to our website, WNYT.com. We've got a lot of information there because it is Flag Day, if you didn't know. Now, you've been educated on that. We're going to talk more about that a little bit later. New at 6, though, a long-running member of law enforcement in Albany County is leaving retirement to come back and protect and serve the city of Water-Vliet. Check this out. Bill Rice has just been named to the lead department of the city's 28 department capacity of chief, the law enforcement department there. He is retiring in February from the Albany County Sheriff's Department. That's where he rose through the ranks of investigator, inspector, chief deputy, and field commander. Rice ended his career with Albany, serving 5 years as the undersheriff to Craig Apple. He was also assistant and later acting chief of Green Island PD in Water-Vliet. Rice is going to fill the spot left by former police chief Joseph Sentanis, who recently resigned to take a similar position down in Florida. All right, here it is today, June 14th. That is Flag Day. So we've got to ask the question, how much do you really know about the flag? Of course, beyond, Betsy Ross and everyone who made it back in the day. Gettysburg Flag's work has some interesting facts that you might not know about our flag.
Talking Flag Day, right? Okay, fast facts. Pledge of Allegiance. Francis Bellamy writes the Pledge of Allegiance in, I believe, 1892. Right, so, well, no, this is just a presentation flag. So it's got fringe on it, and normally indoor flags will have fringe on it. A flag you fly outside wouldn't have fringe. It's just not made to be outdoors. It'll wear and tear pretty quickly with a fringe on it. Origin of the U.S. flag, we go back to Betsy Ross, who made the first flag, 1776. Currently, a flag is made of nylon, typically. You can get a cotton flag, red for valor, white for innocence and purity, and blue for justice and perseverance. The father of Flag Day, Bernard Segram, 1885. He's a school teacher in Wisconsin. He's got a love of national pride, the flag, which symbolizes our nation, and he decides that he's going to educate his class about the United States flag and proposes that there's an official day for Flag Day. And he proposes that that's the day that we celebrate the US flag. But after that, he kind of spreads the word, and it becomes an official thing in 1916 when Woodrow Wilson issues a presidential proclamation naming June 14th as Flag Day. And in 1949, there's an act of Congress. They pass this act. It goes to Truman at the time. He signs off and makes it an official national holiday for Flag Day. So at that point, it's an official national holiday. It's recognized officially.
Okay, that is just one story of a whole series of Flag Day stories that we have created this week. Our photojournalist Justin Shumway put them together. He does a really great job with all this content. If you'd like to see more and learn more about Flag Day and our nation's great red, white, and blue, head on over to our website, WNYT.com, or hey, why not even scan that QR code you got right there. Well, this is just the first part of our 6 p.m. newscast here on YouTube. Chief Meteorologist Paul Cano will be back in a little bit with an update on your full forecast. Stay with us.
Capital region weather can take a severe turn fast. When it does, you can count on First Warning Alert Days to help keep you safe.
On First Warning Alert Days, we are watching out for you with advanced technology.
You can trust our experienced team to be fastest to alert you with dependable hour-by-hour forecasts.
Stay safe with First Warning Alert Days.
First Warning 13, severe weather coverage you can trust.
For live coverage of breaking news, watch News Channel 13.
Your go-to station for live coverage.
Live coverage allows you to see stories unfold in your community.
Live at Moreau Lake State Park, where that
Live coverage brings you closer to the story.
That courtroom was a packed house in there.
So you can see for yourself what's happening.
We have team coverage right now as the jury deliberates. Live coverage makes you feel like you're actually there.
For live coverage of breaking news, watch News Channel 13.
Coverage you can trust.
Now, your First Warning forecast with Chief Meteorologist Paul Cayano.
Well, the weekend is upon us, and we avoided any major thunderstorms today, so we're off and running into Saturday. Look at this, just gorgeous sunshine, pleasantly warm, low humidity, light north breeze, so a touch of a chop on area waterways, particularly the bigger lakes, Lake George, Sacandaga, but even Saratoga Lake. Look at the air temperature in the mid-70s, so it's not going to be too terribly warm out this weekend. In fact, a chilly start Sunday morning. Going to do some fishing, maybe boating in the afternoon, a cool start in the 40s, and we'll wind up in the 70s later on in the day. And then we really crank the heat. We've been advertising this heat wave for the middle and latter portion of next week, and a strong chance, a high chance of above average temperatures over the entire Northeast. And with the average high now above 80, that means above normal temperatures will take us closer to 90, and probably even in our case into the lower and mid 90s through the middle and latter portion of next week. And that's not even counting the humidity. When you factor that in, it'll feel even hotter. So prepare for some summer-like heat heat coming our way. You can do some prep this weekend. Sunglasses certainly in order as we get through the weekend and next weekend. Don't forget the sunscreen. Even if we have some hazy sun, the sun gets so high in the sky this time of year as we head toward the first day of summer. And extra water when it gets so hot and humid. You want to hydrate and avoid any kind of heat-related illness that comes with these hot temperatures we're expecting to see. First warning live Doppler radar quieting down now after some showers and storms over into Berkshire County. Temperatures in the 70s and lower 80s now as we head toward the evening. You can see where the front is lining up now, passing through the Capital District and pushing all of the showers and storms down into the lower Hudson Valley toward New York City. So we've avoided any real serious thunderstorm action with the severe weather off to our south. And now with lower humidity coming in, that's what's going to set us up for the good-looking weekend. A big dome of dry and comfortable air will slide right overhead and park itself on top of us for both Saturday and Sunday with full sunshine and low humidity and a comfortable breeze. So we'll start in the high 50s tomorrow morning into the middle and upper 70s, sunshine all day long, and we'll do it again on Sunday. So some scattered clouds dissipating tonight, full sunshine tomorrow. It's going to be kind of crisp and cool around here on Sunday morning. So if Dad has a tea time, perhaps you're going to get up early, maybe do a little bit of work around the house. You're certainly going to be expecting a bit of a chill, but in the afternoon, it looks great. We have lots of sunshine all day long on Sunday as well. 57 tonight, partly cloudy. We'll continue our drying trend. 77 tomorrow, sunny, breezy, pleasant. More of the same Sunday for Father's Day, 79. 88 Monday, so here comes the heat. Hazy, hot, and humid Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Lower and mid-90s with the humidity. It could feel closer to 100 through the middle of next week, and it looks like we could even reach 90 by Friday. Steve.
Thank you for that, Paul. Again, it's going to be a great Father's Day weekend. Really looking forward to it. Hopefully you and your dad or your grandpa or whoever are going to be out doing something really fun. Thank you for joining us. We're going to have a lot more news coming up at 9 o'clock on My 4, and we'll have the very latest at 11 o'clock on News Channel 13 on NBC, once all that golf stuff is over. Of course, you can always check us out on WNYT.com for the very latest developments in all these stories you saw today. Have a great night.